What the heck? Hmm. Okay. Let's see now. Okay. I think I'm there now. Can someone please check to see if I'm on YouTube? Oh, now it says I'm offline altogether. What the heck? Okay. I think I'm good. No, now I'm not on Twitch. Yeah, it says I'm on Twitch. Shows me on Twitch. Yeah. Yeah, it's showing me live on Twitch. Okay. Seems to be some technical issues. Twitch had a problem with a hack, and I had to reload some keys or whatever in the restream, and now it seems to be causing issues. But I believe I'm back to being live on both. Guess I can actually check on my own. Yeah. Yep. There I am. Okay. Okay. I might have lost my entire audience. Okay. I see everything. So it looks like I'm on both. Let's see if I have an audience back. Okay. So I'll keep talking and hopefully somebody is here. Let's see. So let's look for something going on. Like I said, I was talking about natural gas. It moves a lot. Let's see. Here's the top, I believe, of the day. Let me see here. Top of the day is here. 5.872. Bottom here is at 5582. My math is off this one. Good morning, Chris. How are you this morning? Let's see here. I said the top was here, 5876. Bottom was here, 5582. Yeah, wow. So we have. Uh, I'm gonna get this right. There we go. So yeah, there's definitely a good movement on natural gas. At least looks like recently. I haven't looked at its historicals, but from 10:30 last night to 5 a.m. this morning, it moved almost $3,000 downward. This one candle here that was $700 in itself, not including the wick. Doing all right. Just had to deal with some technical issues, but I believe we're back and doing. Everybody's seeing me about Twitch and YouTube, I hope. Right now, just looking for something to jump into. ES on an upswing for the past 2 hours or so. One good pullback. This is the second good pullback. Seems like it wants to bounce from here and head up. Did break the 200 EMA. Kind of resting on the SMA now. NASDAQ. Pretty much doing the same right now. Might be in for a calmer day now that the debt ceiling worries have been alleviated. Platinum. I don't have platinum marked off with highs and lows. It looks like platinum's is pretty much meandered up all night. Still no YouTube? I'm seeing it. I literally have it up on my screen, like a different browser. Let me go on my phone just to make sure. Try refreshing. YouTube. Okay, this is gonna be trippy, but this is my screen. Let me make that smaller. Make that smaller, I said. You can see this is my screen showing me on YouTube. And you can see my mouse movements. And you can see Chris. Yeah, Chris is on YouTube. He's talking to me on YouTube. So it's working for somebody. Are you on mobile or are you on desktop? Oh, wow, look at that. That's kind of cool. All those screens within the screens. Okay, we'll get that off the screen now. Sorry, DWT. I'm just not sure. I'm tried to bring it up on my phone on on the YouTube app, and I'm having issues there. Oh, live chat. Okay. Oh, that took me to Charlie. Uh, yeah. When going in and out, it's some reason I gotta figure out how to fix that too. All these fun things that crop up. Let me see if I can do that real quick as well. Since nothing's really popping right now, gives me quick 2 minutes to figure out. Let's see. Live now, upcoming, upcoming. Let me delete this one. Upcoming. We'll edit for Sunday evening, which would be 10th at 6:30. No, 6:45. Okay. Hopefully now things should be more clearer over on YouTube. Oh no, you're fine. I'm happy that you told me because I was trying to figure out the problem is Twitch is hacked. They changed all the keys. So when I originally went live, I was live only on YouTube and not on Twitch. So I had to shut down the stream before I ever started. And then apparently, I got Twitch going, and then YouTube didn't want to restart. So looks like now eventually we're good. I hope. I'm still rather new to all this streaming stuff, so it's good to know. I don't like like a week, 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, I can't even remember. I went live and my mic wasn't working. I ended up having to reboot the whole computer to get the mic to work. So hopefully, as things goes on. Excellent. Thank you for checking that for me. I really appreciate it. So what are the bonds doing? I was playing with the bonds some last night. Kept losing. I was playing with them in this choppy area, which is probably why I kept losing. But I didn't. I did that on the sim account. Looks like it later on decided to finally start giving better direction, and finally, of course, we see here it's gone up hugging the Bollinger Band all night. Well, not all night, but the last 2 hours. Copper. Let's see. This resistance line didn't matter. So copper's copper really had this weird price action last evening and been kind of sideways since. Have seen this downtrend now, but it's not acting like it normally acts. natural gas. The thing about natural gas here, like I said, I'm trying to play with it, but it really requires a bigger profit target and stop. So it would have worked. I'm experimenting a little bit with ATR indicator to try and figure out. I go into all these with a just generic stop loss profit target. Basically, I find something that works most of the time and just use that. But I want to try and start using maybe the ATR to get maybe better reads on if I should widen a stop at that point in time, or if I should be a tighter target, tighter profit targets, so on and so forth, to try and maybe eliminate a few stop outs that eventually go my way. So I'm playing with that indicator. See, like here, this came down. Yeah, I run a 40-20. I'm trying to, well, I shouldn't say that I'm running. I'm experimenting with a 40 by 20 on natural gas. And see how this just came down right to my stop, wicked out, and then went my direction. So on here, this entry, the ATR is 19 ticks. So a 20 tick stop loss when your ATR is 19 is probably too tight. So if I had, you know, looks like 25 would have done it. So probably better to go to 30 to be careful. Give it like our 29, like 10 ATR plus 10, and then we would have got this plus, probably plus the rest of this wick. I mean, the rest of this candle. So I definitely want to play with that. Definitely looks like natural gas could be a very profitable asset once I find the sweet spots on it. See, it's here, these candles look small because you're comparing them to here, but these are actually that's a 24 tick candle. That's an 11 tick candle. On the ATR, you're also it was also about 19. I don't think that would have saved me there, but also that would have been a bad trade to get into anyway, regardless of the signal because of how deep into the bands it was. That would have been beautiful. This, see, that was already a 20 tick pullback on that first candle, and ATR was only 13 there because it had been very slow leading into it. So there, the ATR wouldn't have saved us. So, oh, then while I was talking about it, it gave us down signal, although it pulled back since. We did hit the third band and reversed. So keep an eye on that. Gonna try and take a bunch of trades on it on sim. Right? Also this morning, I mean, we have some slowness now, or and tight ranges, but we have non-farm payroll report coming out this morning, which uh, should provide some good movement. Bonds pulling back, but still above the SMA. Has both the SMA and the EMA, that 200 EMA there. So so, so far, kind of a slow morning. Looking to make up my losses, but not going to force anything. How far back was I? There we go. I actually had some decent movement on soybeans. Soybean oil, technically, but soybeans and soybean oil seem to roll. Corn, not so much. Corn's been almost barcoding. Oh, it did start off well. What's the ES doing? ES is possibly starting a downtrend. Has broken its SMA lines. Got an EMA here though. Gold's had probably the biggest range of anything all night. 130 ticks or so. No, that's bad math. 104 ticks. CL. Ooh, that would have been a bad one. I'm starting to learn here, as I'm checking out these chart patterns. A lot of times, if you see a big down wick, I mean a big down candle through an uptrending SMA line, it's going to reverse back up to the direction it was going in. Crude. I've been kind of ignoring crude lately. There's the low. It's coming back down toward its lows of the day. High of the day was here. I mean, moved up, slowly kept pulling back till it finally reached this high. It's now going that way. Has about 100 ticks of range on this trading day. Again, as you can see, well, it's trading at the top of yesterday's and a top and above yesterday. It's the range itself is smaller, more tight. Good morning to anyone joining. I'm not sure how many people are here. Twitch says I have 2 viewers. Well, says I got 5 on YouTube. So welcome everybody. Feel free to, you know, make comments, say hi in chat, ask any questions, statements, insults. That's crude right now. It's also broken its 200 SMA, EMA. One day I'll get those straight. Copper's grinded back up above its SMA line. We can chart this off from overnight. Something I usually do in the morning. So 415 candle was here. And it was 425.80. I always chart off every trade that I would have taken, even when I'm not online. This one would have went to profit. Follow the larger trend on the 5 minute. High speed, yes, very early, too early. I'm thinking about firing the guy that scheduled these streams because he keeps scheduling these early streams. That would have worked. That's the last one for now. Let's see what was back here. This would have been a trap. This would have exhausted at the Bollinger Band, but we'll still mark it. What time was that? 210. 210, 210. See, this is where sometimes I think it'd be better if I did follow the 2 minute, because the 2 minute, although that was a decent pullback, so that might have stopped me at it anyway. But this one went to 80% of the goal and then pulled back. I would have, I mean, the way I have it set up, it would have went to if it went that far, I would have broke, yeah, I would have come back to break even. But in the stats, I mark it as a loss. And then this one is a loss. See, this is another thing, you know, I was watching this right before I went to bed. Copper does, I mean, first they had this big explosion, which copper doesn't usually have, almost 200 ticks. What's Natty Gas doing? Okay, well, let's get in a sim trade on natural gas. Just for fun. Oh, never mind, the signal went away. There's the signal again, but now we're waiting 2 more minutes, so we'll wait 2 more minutes. While I finish talking about copper doing me dirty. So it doesn't usually have these huge explosions. And then, I mean, it did it right here again, right about a little after 1 a.m. Eastern. You know, not as big as over there earlier, but it still just came out of nowhere, and then it almost immediately reversed. And copper doesn't usually do that. But that puts us in a downward direction here at 35. What's it doing now? Oh, boom. 426.40. 20 by 15. That would have been a good one. We're pretty much caught up now on our overnight trades that would have happened. 3 out of 4. Looks like we're starting to push up on copper. Let's go back to our natural gas. Okay, 30 seconds on that candle. Take trade on sim. Now, what's our average true range? Oops. ATR. Ooh, 27 ticks. So, I, what I'll do when I enter this trade by market, I will move the stop down 10 ticks. Normal, my stop was at 20 ticks. I'll move it to 30 ticks. What was my entry? 70, 40, 40, 40. There we go. We'll see how this rolls. Now, I kept the profit target at 40 ticks, but normally, from looking back this week, I would have went into higher volatility mode at 7 and entered a 60 tick profit target, but I didn't set that up yet in trade management. Oh, big move up. We're up 19 ticks already. What's that signal? ES. Let's blow this up. Let's blow this up, I said. There we go. And make it a little bit smaller. Hopefully y'all can still see that. Then I will put all these on top. We're gonna tuck it down here. We'll check these other things and we'll keep an eye on it. It's pulling back now. Like 4 ticks. ES. Not sure why that came in. CL. Also, I'm not sure why that signal hit. I didn't look at resistance on natural gas, which is bad. I didn't look, I entered this trade blind, but it was sim. That was probably it. We can see that it's struggling to get above this level. We've hit this same area like three times, and now it's pulling back. It's pulled back by 22 ticks. So maybe the better way to enter this trade would have been to wait to see if it broke this high of this wick, this candle here, and then gotten in. It's above this resistance here. Next big, let's see, let's mark that off. Let's see, that it has some room to go before it hits there. Lots of room to roam before it gets there. Should be the next major resistance point. So, right now we're down 15 ticks. Definitely has some volatility to it. Definitely has some movement. Oh, there it just got stopped out. Now we wait for the next opportunity of anything. It's kind of a boring period right now. Okay, so we can take this off of always on top for now. Sorry about my little pause there in talking. I had something I was dealing with. See whether or not. It's off screen a minute. Okay, copper. Setting a cell signal here, but it's very tight bands. So we're still on the cell from up here. Never got a buy on the 5 minute. So that seeing a sell on the 2 minute usually means I would re-enter the trade if it's kept. First of all, it went away, but these bands are so tight. This is a we have only 42443. We have like an 18 tick range between the two standard deviation bands. So I want to see it start widening before I would get into that trade anyway. I have the ES and the NQ. So they want to continue their trip upwards, maybe. Definitely a push up. It looks like it's still a ways to go before the highs from the European session or the high of the day. Wait, yeah, the high of the day is there. Dow, just kind of a little explosion on the Dow. I don't really watch the Dow anymore, but a nice push. And the Russell. 2 points on the Russell there. See whether or not it starts sending signals. Time does non-farm payrolls come out? Non-farm payrolls come out at the top. In about 8 minutes. So we could start seeing some increased volatility here in a bit. Might be why you're starting to see this push already. Probably some preview out there of the report. They're expecting a good report, I believe. Bonds, big whoosh down. Gas bounced off that SMA line where it stopped us out. We got in here. No, wait. I don't know where we got in. Oh, wait, that's right. We went in for a buy here and came back down. So it actually is bouncing off the 200 EMA. It's still below the SMA. Crude hanging right around its lows. As we try to find something exciting, I guess we'll probably just kind of hang out here until the payroll report comes out. S&P moving up quick. Four points on this candle. This candle closes in 20 seconds. Nasdaq approaching its high of the day. Big moves up here. This seems to be a preview of the payroll report. Trying to pull back somewhere in the bands. That's where I got in trouble in copper, so I'm not gonna jump in on anything. You can see Nasdaq right up against its high. Oh, that's actually not its high. I missed that wick. There, that's the high. So it has a little bit to go yet before the high, like 15 points. If I jump in here, it will reverse, so I will not jump in here. We'll wait to see whether or not what else has reaction. Gold's hit a new high of the day and pulled back. Platinum's just continuing long move upwards. Platinum's actually uh, Platinum's basically maybe trying to recover from this big drop that it had since February. Has a long ways to go. Still below its 200 SMA on the daily. That's definitely a interesting chart though for today. It's just 7.5 hour run so far. Oh, wait, that was gold. Oh, big pullback off that run. Big pullback. Excuse me. Down to the wick, bounced off the SMA. Nasdaq did the same. This is why I don't play news, because it's already getting wild even before the news. We'll keep it here on the S&P and the Nasdaq as the report comes out to see the wildness of it. See what happens here. We have 20 seconds until 8:30, which is when this report's supposed to be released. Looks like the market's expecting, I have no idea. Had this big run up to 10 minutes before. Now this is the 2 minute candle here. These are, oh, whoa, wow, wow. Do you guys see that? That whoosh down. Here's the open. Holy crap. It, that just ranged 55 points in 20 seconds. The high to the low, it went flashed up and down. Looks like the S&P's flushing. Nasdaq's trying to follow but isn't sure. Copper's hit a buy. Got 4 minutes to see. That copper likes the news. Wow, gold. Gold's up $700, and that's not including that wick. That was $1,200 up, including the wick. Bonds, big wick up. Natural gas and crude oil said bleh. Who cares what's going on? I'm sleeping in. Russell, big downward, big downward. They're not even open. So let's see how this all shakes out now. Now that we're about a minute and a half in, it's just wild right now. Wonder how many people just got stopped out in both directions. Copper's pulled back almost the entire length of that gain and is now flirting with going red on this candle. Gold. Guess I can move that way up here now. Been awesome to get in on that, but there's just no way to know which way it's going to go. Platinum, just like yippee, more good news, and continues to go up. Crude's now kind of heading downward, as is natural gas. We can play natural gas again. What's the time on this? Minute and 40. Well, let's just jump in. It's not my way of doing things normally, but it's sim. Oh wait, I didn't put it on the right sim account though. There we go. See how we do. Anyone out there trading right now? Sim trading, regular trading? Just watching this craziness is going to stop me out right away. But we'll move the stop back some. Entry point was 666. Oh crap. We'll go back to 26, I guess. No wait, that's wrong. 06. Give it a 40 point stop at this time of day. Oh, I didn't move it fast enough. We got stopped out already. This is why you should never play news. Move that. Copper, still trying to give me that buy. Don't know how much I trust it based off this big wick. It is above its SMAs on both the 2 and the 5. It's below the, just below the EMA on the 5. We started a new candle, and the buy signal is now in that new candle, which means I should wait the full 5 minutes, which is FOMO City. Let's go back to the indices, the equity indices, whatever they are. You have bounce off the Bollinger Band as it tries to push back up. NASDAQ, besides that big wick down, never broke its SMA. I mean, it broke it and came right back up. So NASDAQ showing a little bit more strength than the S&P. Russell is actually still heading downwards. Dow bounced. Move this down. Now we see pushing up. Nasdaq just broke its high of the day. This is a 38 point candle. So looks like after everything shaking out, the report's good. Or at least that's what it thinks this minute. It might be different the next minute. Definitely strong push up now. This is a 45 point candle. $900, $1,000 now. And a lot more if you want to count this move up here from this dip. Still going. Almost 60 points now. Move this up. Well above the bands. This is about what copper did last night to me when I tried to play it here or so. Wow. Just wow. One day I want to be on the good end of this. This is now a 67 point candle. It's still trying to move up. Well above the Bollinger Bands. The bands don't play as well with news. Let's see, the top band's at 14,959 and the price action right now is at 82. Wow, that's 30 points above the bands. Minute left on this candle. S&P's doing the same thing. 17 points on this candle. Junk out the way. This is going to be near a 100 point candle. The big part of me wants to play this reversal. I think this next candle is going to at least start red for about 30 points. Might already be starting right here. Let's see what happens. Next candle is now. See how far it pops down, or if it does at all. So far 6 points, 8 points down. Yep, there we go, 12 points down. $14 points down. $19 points. Now it's pulling back. So maybe about a 20-point pullback before heading back upwards. Let's see what natural gas is doing. Natural gas is so these signals. This signal will be good. Looks like it's gonna pop. Yeah, there's a buy. 10 seconds. Let's try another trade on natural gas. So far, we haven't been doing real well on this. 27, we'll move it back to 17. See if we can actually get something that's a winner today, even if it's on Sim. Always on top. We'll keep an eye on that trade while we check out what else is going on. So copper did give us an actual buy. It actually, but has since, I mean, it went up. Well, that's a significant wick actually. I should have probably got in this trade, but I wasn't paying attention. Uh, so it went up 15 ticks. Looks like it's going to continue to push up. Maybe. We're 2 ticks down on natural gas. Yep. So this is going to be a missed trade here, I bet. We'll see. The Russell. Woo. That's an ugly Russell chart. Down 11 points, up 6 points, down 7 points. Dow's doing the same. Yep. Oh, here we go. I was right. I like being right. This is pulled back 30 points here now. This would have been a great reversal trade to get in. I was too shy on it because I got burned on that reversal on copper last night. The S&P's done the same thing. Let's move our S&P line up here. Still a tighter range than past few days on the indices between bottoms and tops. Gold's continuing to push up. Broke a resistance line that I put here for some reason. So now here's our new top. Platinum, maybe found it up top. It's pulled back some, but maybe it's just a little taking a breather. Oh, bonds look just as ugly. Our natural gas trade. Down 10 ticks. Please feel free to chat, say hi, comment, insult, statement, anything. Definitely gonna have to reevaluate the natural gas. See if this is a just a overly choppy day, or if I can tighten up these signals some. Because if you look at the signals down here, this failed, that failed, this would have worked. So far, this failed. So I thought the report was bad here on this candle, and I thought the report was good on this candle, and I thought the report was bad on this candle, and now I have no idea what the market thinks the report was. We just stopped out again on natural gas. So we'll take that back off of always on top. We are bleeding, bleeding. We are see. This is why it's good not to test things out on a sim. As we see, the sim account is down $1,352 today. And if that was my actual Gauntlet account, I would be, I would be just freaking out right now. Do not like that there's red in all three accounts, although this was just a quick test of make sure something was working. Yep. Seems like, oh, I don't know what to say. I mean, part of me thinks it's going to get down to about here and then go right back up. I have no idea how to play this right now. This might be more of an order flow type of day where people that do order flow can maybe understand this better. So yeah, copper, 740. Open this, excuse me. Open that candle, and would have reached my profit goal. That was a missed trade. Although that said, right now it just barely hit that profit goal. So one tick of slippage, it would not have hit it. It's pulled back now. See if it's going to continue to go up. Gold seems to be trying to curl back down. Bonds just big time downward move. So we can do a bond trade on Sim as well. Maybe I can lose that whole $100,000 in that Sim account today. It broke. This is a resistance point from way back in June, I believe it was. The bonds have not been this low since June. So it's now breaking through those lows. Oops. So we'll sell market. We'll get in here. See what happens. I would actually be a little hesitant to get in here. We're going to move the stop up some. Back some, I guess I should say. Because we just hit the Bollinger Band. So I would not have done that on the Gauntlet account. I would wait to see if this plays out. It looks like it's going to come back up and maybe stop out. When you see a big candle down like that and it hits the bands, oftentimes it needs some room to breathe. So you'll see a reversal candle. Just the next one will go green, and then maybe the one after that you'll see go back red. I widened my stop on this, which was that's also something that not something I would not do normally, because right now it means I'm running at a 1-to-1 risk to reward. 1-to-1's fine if you're sure you're gonna get more winners than losers, but I wouldn't normally do that. Although we are now in profit. So now we'll give this the always on top treatment. Watch it. Up, see? It's doing exactly what I said. It comes down to about here, bounce back up. So, I mean, the Nasdaq is actually respecting the SMA. It's bouncing right around that area, which is interesting. But the S&P, not so much. Okay, so our stop got filled that quickly on the bonds. So would have been a bad trade to get into. We show the bad and the good here at ARX Market Trading. If you look here in the 2-minute, we have a perfect signal of a reversal candle. You know, you have these big moves downward, and then you have a green doji candle. Now, this doji actually had a wick higher, a bigger wick above, so it's not a classic doji. Usually, you want to see the bigger wick below for a reversal, but it was green. It ended green. Good sign of a reversal back up, which it gave us. Now, if we had entered on this sell signal in the 2-minute, which I'm really starting to check out more often, we would have got 16 ticks, which is $500 on the bonds. As you can see here, these sell signals would have worked each time this morning. Here, not over here. We wouldn't have taken that because of the tight range. So there's just no way I'm getting into any of this. I have no idea what direction it's going to go. These are 5-minute candles. This is wild. If you just take the bodies of the candles and don't even take the wicks, you know, 8.5 points, $350, something like that. 15 points, so $750 up. 10 points, so $500. 7 points, $350. And now 4 points, so $200. Complete whipsaw, as they say. Copper did continue its move upwards, so it would have, I said here it just made our profit target, but now it's going above it. Would have pulled back to break even at one point, a little below, and then would have went to our goal. So definite mistrade there. Looks like copper's trying to be good since it's hurt me last night. I just need to take the trades. So if you look here, we have 1 winner, 2 winners, 3 winners. There's a long big loser. And this winner since here. So that was 4 and 1. 4-2, 5-2. Of course, this was a loss. 5-3. The problem, where I screwed up, first of all, on this trade on copper last night, since we're not getting into anything right now because it's the Wild Wild West. Look at this. It's trying to get right back up to where it was. I got in late. When the sell signal fired, I'm not sure that's even the right trade. Now, hold on. The sell fired here, and I was late getting in. So I should have never taken the trade because I always say if I'm late by more than a tick or two, I'm not going to get in. I feel like that's chasing because oftentimes these go not much further than the profit target. But I got in, and it curled up, and then this buy signal fired. And honestly, I probably should have got out there and reversed. Because at this point, I was just down $37. You know, I could have reversed, followed this buy signal, and I would have caught this. But I didn't. I stayed in, because it was staying right around break even. I didn't want to just exit the trade and then have it go the other way. But and obviously I didn't see this coming at all. I don't know what prompted that, but I should have just reversed here. Plus the fact that honestly, it was a bad trade to get into anyway because it was down below the band. So I mean, it didn't immediately reverse, but it wasn't like gangbusters either way. So it was just a bad read all around on my part, and then trying to jump back in and do reversal trades. Natural gas again. Now we're heading downward again on natural gas. Let's try our fourth trade of the day on natural gas. Maybe. Still got a minute 19 on this candle. Not sure which is more wild. I mean, these natural gas is just very choppy all of a sudden, but still might be better than dealing with this. Be back in 1 minute. Okay, we're on the 9 o'clock hour here. I jumped in on a natural gas trade. Did not follow my rules because the sell signal didn't fire on that last candle. It fired on the current candle. We're at 6.5, so we'll move it back to 0.5. Give it 40 points there to 40 ticks, I mean. And QUB. See what they're doing now. UBE bounced all the way back up, or almost all the way back up. NQ and ES trying to just continue its push up now. Gold pulled back, now back up above it, making new highs of the day. If it made new all-time highs, that'd be really something. So what we'll look for here on the 2-minute on gold. See, we did get a sell signal on this pullback on the 2-minute. So now it's coming back up. Didn't even bounce off the SMA. It came down toward it, and the SMA must have said boo and scared it back up. So we'll watch for the buy signal here on the 2-minute chart, and that'll might give us an entry on gold. So we'll keep an eye on that. I just can't see touching the S&P or the Nasdaq right now. I don't know what it's gonna do. Same with the Russell. The Russell, I mean, the Russell's not as wild looking right now. I think for the S&P and the Nasdaq, I think we need to see it come back up to its high and break its high in order for us to really figure out what it wants to do. Our natural gas trade just kind of sitting there, 2 ticks down. Gold looks like it's going a little bit sideways now. Platinum, yeah, I forget. Let's see. Let's bring up that my trusty futures calculator. Let's make it smaller. Go to platinum. Metals. There we go. Platinum. Bullish. Entry price 981.4, and it's currently sitting at 1031.9. One contract. Wow, so platinum's going up $2,500 a contract since last night, since this buy signal. That's the past 8 hours or so. It's still pushing up. That's impressive. Our gas trade is 3 ticks in the profit. Or it was. Very, very, almost, it's like natural gas moves like NQ. Just not as big, but just the swings of how quickly it can swing from up and down. Up, up. Okay, we got that buy signal I was talking about on gold. So we're going to find a gold chart and wait this 1 minute here, or 53 seconds. Be prepared to enter. Go gold high volatility, which I believe is that 34 by 25. So there we go. We just stopped out again on natural gas. Okay, we have entered on gold. We'll get rid of this. Maybe forget natural gas exists today because that's definitely not giving us what we want. Gold's pushing up. Well, if it continues, it's at daily highs. This is on the Gauntlet account. I believe it is. Yeah, this is on the Gauntlet account. So this is affecting my evaluation. So let's hope it actually gives me something. I will not hold this trade through the open. The open's in about 23 minutes. So if this doesn't reach its profit target by the open, I'll probably cut it at wherever it's at. Showing a little bit of weakness here. Having trouble getting above this level. Let's take a quick gander here to make sure I didn't miss anything, any major resistance. Wow. So we're at highs that we haven't seen in a while, it looks like. Yeah, we haven't seen these highs since the 23rd of September. We're down 2 ticks on the trade right now, so let's look at this, actually the 22nd of September. Here's where we're at, this green line. So our next major resistance is all the way back here. Just quite a while, it's quite a ways away. Like 8 points. So we have room to roam upwards without resistance. But right now it's not wanting to. We're sitting at break even. It's pulling back. 4 ticks. 1 tick. Don't worry, I won't keep calling out the ticks. Ew. Got 35 seconds on this 5-minute candle. See if this is just a breather. See. Back in the profit for now, just by a tick or two. New candles formed. Let's blow this up and then we'll give it the treatment. Oops, pulling back again now. Always on top. Then we'll go check out what the Russell's saying. Russell's trying to break its SMA on the 5-minute ES. Now kind of consolidating. Copper still moving up. We're now down 12 ticks. About a little more than halfway to my stop. Watching it as we head toward the open. 19 minutes away. Now it's coming back. Let's see, do we have a Dom up here? Dom. Let's see if I have gold on Dom. Gold. I can get it. GC. Here's a Dom on gold. Got lots of orders stacked on both sides. Less orders on the ask than on the bid. So hopefully that's a good sign. I'm not good at reading a Dom, so I mean, I just use it for a little bit of context. Our trade's back at break even. Actually, the Dom seems to have frozen. Maybe? I'm confused. No, maybe not. It's just not moving fast, I guess. I don't know. Ah, there we go. Told you the Dom looked frozen. Yeah, now we're back in the profit by 5 ticks. Pushing up. Back down. Indecision here as it tries to move up. It's kind of consolidating a bit here. Indecision right around my entry point. Just trying to gain some momentum. Keep the Dom off to the side. The high of this move so far, 79.8. Oh, we just hit a new high of this move, 79.9. I'm sorry, yeah, 1780 right there. Oh, there we go. We're up 1.2. My stop loss has moved up to break even. 14 ticks, 16 ticks. My stop's trailing. Be nice if this has enough behind it to get to my profit target. We're at 2.224 ticks. If it gets to my profit target, it'll completely wipe out those copper trades from last night. Ooh, gotta move my stop back down. There we go. 15 ticks in the profit. Trying to see whether I give this room to breathe or not. Hopefully moving my trailing stop down isn't going to cost me. Still slightly in the 2 ticks. The stop loss is sitting at 2 ticks on the profit. I'm actually going to move it up to 5 ticks in the profit so I get something out of this. gonna try to anyway. Right now we're back up to 20 ticks in the profit, $200. 13 minutes to the New York Open. Seems like it's struggling right around the 1781 area. Pulling back now. Still 12 ticks in profit. Pulling way back. This is gonna suck. This is gonna have cost me money. I would have been about 15 ticks in the profit, but I pulled back to give it room to roll, and it's gonna stop me out here for 40 bucks profit. There we go. Okay, no, that sucked. Ugh. It's probably gonna go back. I probably should have just taken the stop off. So we'll watch. That's a frustrating, I admit. Got 40 bucks after that trade, I think. Yeah, 40 bucks. So let's draw it out. See if it eventually goes to target. Not gonna re-enter anything here before the open. So we entered here. The 334 profit target. 25 tick stop. Is that where we entered? Doesn't look right. $79.2. Is that where we entered? It shows we entered at $79.2, so we actually got a better fill than what I thought. There we go. So yeah, it's back up to 1.3 in profit. So sometimes I think trailing these stops might be detrimental. Yep, it's pushing back up now. Yeah, this is frustrating. While we wait to see what that does. So the S&P and the Nasdaq went down, went up, went down, went up, and now it's slowly trending at a calmer pace. But you know, we're 8 minutes to the open, where that calmer pace will probably go away. Copper, slow trend up. Natural gas doesn't know what it wants to do. Bonds look ugly. Oh my god, that looks ugly. Gold continues to make a fool of me. And the Russell and the Dow all look ugly as well. Good morning, Rich. How are you this morning? Just kind of sitting here waiting for the open now. We had our wild time from the non-farm payroll report, which saw everything go up, down, sideways, and everything in between. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the open looks like, to see how it reacts with the payroll report that came out about an hour ago that caused this mess. Yeah, I mean, it was wild. I was, we were watching here on the stream, watching these two at the open, and within a minute on the Nasdaq, it went from red to red to green like 4 times. I mean, within the first minute, it ranged 55 points up and down, both directions. It was just wild. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see if I can. Let's go to NQ chart here. Let's go to not sure if it allows me to go to a second chart or not. Let's try it. It does. So let's go back here. Here's a 10-second chart. Ooh, when the news hit. That's 10 seconds. This candle here, with this long wick down and this long move up, is a 10-second candle. This all happened. These two candles here happened within 20 seconds. Opened here, flush down, all the way back up 10 seconds. Next 10 seconds, huge flush down. Next 10 seconds, up. Next 10 seconds down. Then up, and then up, big wick, and pull back. And that's 1 minute at a time. All that happened within 1 minute. That's just crazy. And then, I mean, this is how quickly it was still moving. I mean, each of these are 10 seconds down, and then up, 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 back down, back down, back down. Just crazy movement. Yeah, I don't ever use a 10-second chart. I just wanted to see the movement. I couldn't imagine actually trying to trade a 10-second chart. I mean, 10 seconds, you see how fast these candles are printing. So we'll go back to our 5-minute chart. Just wildness. Let's go see whether or not gold made a fool of me. Well, nope, hasn't reached that profit target quite yet. It's gotten close. I like to torture myself. It's it got within one, two ticks of my profit target. Hi Jay, welcome. Yeah, gonna be here probably for another hour or so. More if there's actually something to watch. We're about a minute and a half to the open. I'll switch it over to the NQ and the ES charts. I'm gonna mute myself for the next minute or so while I eat some breakfast. $738 because that's the high of the day. Rich, uh, is that the level you're looking at? Okay, so we have the open, and so far nothing too spectacular. More indecision. Red, green, red, green. Feels kind of like Christmas. There's Nightbot. Set it up for YouTube. See, it's working. Oh no, it's Twitch. Still haven't seen it on YouTube. So green candle on the S&P, red on the Nasdaq, green on Russell, red on Dow. Interesting. Very interesting. Nope, now everything's red. Not huge, well, 20, 25 points, so, I mean, I've seen it do much more, so, I mean, this isn't extremely volatile. Maybe I should go look and see what that payroll report actually said. Oh. Oh, total non-farm payroll employment rose by 194,000 in September, but way below the consensus forecast of 500K. They're saying the recovery has stalled. It's not me saying it; it's what I'm reading here on from whoever smart enough to actually figure this stuff out. So that's interesting. So this was a disappointing report. So probably why the market has indecision, because the unemployment rate was lower than expected, but the amount of jobs added was also lower than expected. Kind of just a keep it open here. We have, you know, indecision, but not wide range. Big doji candles. Gold. What did gold do? Gold never did reach my profit target. I'm vindicated. No, I could still do it. Platinum's still just having a good old time. Natural gas. This is one of the choppiest downtrends I've seen. Crude just blew up and then pulled back. Guess we shouldn't use blew up crude since it's so flammable, but yeah. Bonds. James Bonds. Movie opens today. It reached its new low of the day, which means this is the lowest the bonds have been now. Let's see. I drew out this line. Maybe it wasn't the line I drew out last night. Alright, daily chart. That's right. I have a whole bunch of crap on this chart. But if you look here, this red line's where we're at. We're just about to go below this area here at 188.19. If it hits below 188.19, then we have not been this low in the bonds since this pullback here on June 17th. That's 187.15. And then before that, we're dealing with way back here at the beginning of June. So this is interesting what bonds are doing. Looking for something to trade. Still just, whoa. Okay, now we're starting to get some downward movement. Excuse me while I chew. I'm not going to chew in your ear. Breakfast, the most important meal of the day, or so they say. So copper's continuing its move upwards. How did I get that far back on copper? There we go. And honestly, copper's chart kind of looks like platinum's just smaller. Copper's trying to get back up to that where that high was that it hit last night when it decided to screw me over. Yes, I'm still bitter about that. Let's see, just for curiousness. So soybean and corn. Whoa, look at that candle and corn. Both did big pullbacks at the open. Now also coming back up. So everything's kind of red, except for the metals. Metals are not red, but actually metals are starting to go red too. How about that? Except for copper. Copper's still going. Rich, did you make any trades at the open? Or are you still waiting to see how it settles out? So gold never did get to my profit target on that last trade. Now I got deep enough in that I would have not let it. I probably would have taken about $100 win versus the $40 win that I did take. So in retrospect, though, I should have never let. I should have just let the trailing stop go where it was, and it would have been a more profitable trade. See, gold is definitely on a pullback here. It's nearing the 20 SMA. Move this line up here to the new daily high. Seems like it's trending downward now. We did get a sell on the 2-minute. We have not gotten it at the 5-minute. We have an uptrending SMA line. So we will wait for this to break. I mean, we haven't gotten a sell signal either here. But either way, we'll wait for this to break, this SMA line, because it's an uptrending line. And there's a good chance we're going to see a bounce off of it instead of continuing momentum downward. Okay. Breakfast is done. Eggs and sausage. Keto diet. So now we're going back. So to recap, we're roller coastering. This is the 2-minute chart. Is that annoying? Sorry if that was annoying. I haven't figured out how to use sound effects or anything, so for now you just need to deal with me making weird noises. And now we're going back down. Gold has now given us that sell signal on the 5 minute, but again, we haven't broken that. Uh, 2 seconds. Has not broken that SMA line. So watching this, it has a minute and 15 seconds to go on this candle. Okay, stronger move down. It's hugging that SMA. Kind of bouncing off of it, trying to push through. Again, if I had taken the trade at on the sell signal in the 2 minute, we would already be at profit goal. So I really got to start. Thank you. I really need to start looking at that and seeing if there's a better way. Uh, so we're below it. So let's me go grab it before it runs on me here. We're maybe already ran. It's already. Yep, I'm not gonna get in. See, I was slow there. I missed that trade. It's back with him. I don't know. It's bopping around there, so just stay out of it, I guess. Of course, it's gonna go to profit. We'll mark it on 72.9. Yep. Already 17 ticks in the profit. Looks like there's just about barely anybody here anyway. Oh, says I got 1 viewer on YouTube and 3 on Twitch. The markets still have no idea what they want to do. Wicks everywhere. Natural gas continues to go down in a choppy fashion. Crude bit sideways right now. Bonds touching, getting near those June lows. Well, thank you, Rich. I appreciate that. Guess I need to figure out how to make these things more exciting. You can see here this trade that I missed. It's not yet going to the profit target, but it got within 3 ticks of it again. It's kind of amazing. I'm curious of something here. Let's add the ATR on the S&P right now and see what it says. Average range right now of the candles is 7 points. That's a pretty big range for the S&P. As you can see, before this all happened, it was all the way down to just less than 2 points. So that's a pretty big range. Hoping for one good trade is trying to get close to break even. So far, nothing's presenting itself. Ooh, excuse me, sorry. Oh, now we have another big move down. This candle's down 30 points on the Nasdaq. And I tend to think that the market wants to go down today, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't think it's 100% sure. But it seems like anytime it tries to push up, it pushes back down. Sorry about picking up the wind noise from my fan there. Yep, heading down toward the lows. And I mean, compared to some of the days we've seen in the past week or so, we're still in a bit of a tighter range than we have seen. You know, we're inside yesterday's range on the Nasdaq, where all the volatility's come in the last 90 minutes. So it's unusual to see so many candles that have wicks bigger than their bodies. Yeah, maybe. Of course, it's Friday, so you never know what's going to happen toward the close on Friday when everyone starts to take profit. Um, don't know what else saying. Right now, next stream is probably going to be Sunday evening. I'm not sure. Might take a little time off. We'll see. Not happy with my trading right now. Not happy that I'm not getting a lot of trades done on stream. Just not happy right now at all about anything. I think I'm boring people with this, honestly. Guess that resistance line doesn't matter anymore. Let's start marking off natural gas's highs and lows. High, low. I have a line here that actually does it automatically for what's on the screen, but doesn't not well seen. Natural gas heading toward its daily low that it established a few hours ago. Copper in the last hour and 20 minutes is pushed up over $1,200, and I missed it all. I don't know, about $1,000. Platinum is trying to finally taking a breath, trying to bounce off its SMA. The bonds still continuing their downward momentum. How low can they go? Right now we're kind of sideways, but with big candles. Natural gas trying to move back up now. Got a buy signal on the 2-minute. So heck, we're already bled out 4 times. I think we got 4 losses on the on natural gas this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So let's go for number 5. Now let's look at it. We have okay. It's gonna give us 2 minutes to look at it. Are we seeing any resistance? Well, they kind of try to top out there, which is about where we're at now. But there's definitely some room before that. SMA's line, I mean EMA lines up here. Here we do have an SMA on the 5, but not that big. So if it gives us a buy signal, we'll go for it. There's that buy signal. We have 41 seconds, so let's get our chart up. It's pulling back again though. Let's see. It's a sim trade, so what does it matter? But you should sim like you're really trading, so that's why it matters. Buy market. 10 seconds. Oh, pull back. There goes the buy signal. See if it comes back. There it is. This would worry me though. I probably wouldn't actually enter this trade on the gauntlet. Then there it goes. Never mind. See if it comes back on the next candle. See what the NQ is doing. Okay, looks like we have a little bit of an established downtrend now on the NQ. You can see here on the 2-minute, you have the SMA line trending down, and you have a slight curvature downward on the 5-minute. And you can see the same exact thing on the S&P. So we'll see whether or not that, and as I say that, we have a 19-point candle upwards. I mean, the range here is just amazing. These are huge candles. 22 points, 19 points, 20 points. So sure, what keeps giving me signals on copper? Copper's looking strong though. See, let's look at the 1-minute and see if it provided any opportunities along this way. No, we stayed completely green this entire way. Well, completely on a buy signal, even on the 1-minute chart. So, based on using the bot here, we would not have gotten any extra signals to get in. We had to use our own figuring. We wanted to get back into this trade. Oh, natural gas is trying again. Yep, it's giving us a buy signal again. So let's try. We're filled. See if we can get one win off this sucker. Gonna give it a 40 tick. Stop. To give it room to roam. Back to always on top. Put it down here in the corner. Oops. What did I just do? Not sure. Put it down here in the corner. what it is talking about. Oh, well. So forget that downtrend. We now have 45-point tick up on the Nasdaq, 10 points on the S&P. It has no idea what it wants to do. Wow. This is just a wild, wild day. And just look at that. I mean, that's a 5-minute chart there. Let's look at 15 looks like. 15 looks just as confusing. 30-minute. It's just... I wonder how many people are red today trying to catch these moves that keep going against them. Copper's trying to hit it, go back up to its high of the day. Gold. See, that's another trade that, oh, well, it hasn't ended yet. So, gold's milling about now, as is platinum. We're 9 ticks of the profit on our gas trade. So I guess that's our excitement right now. So we can move this to the center of this, oops, center of the screen. Seven ticks. Moving slower now, it seems like. Of course, I just put it right in the middle of the screen where I can't see the alerts, but... Wild Wild West on everything. Next candle, okay, so these candles ended up at 10 and a half points and 43 and a half points. That looks like S&P wants to keep pushing up. Nasdaq milling about. So, yeah, looks like our gas trade for once is actually might actually have some oomph to it. Though we do have a resistance point right about where it's at, where it topped out this one pullback here as it was going down. 20 ticks up. Wild, just wild. Dow, Dow looks, Dow, I mean, I'm sorry, the Russell looks strong. Dow looks, and Dow's trying to reach the highs it did during its farm report momentum. But I can't play any of this. It's just not, I mean, now this gas trade's pulling back as well. Nothing has, welcome back, Jay. Nothing has any follow through right now. It's just up and down, 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 up and down. So we're 22, 20 or so ticks in profit on this natural gas trade on Sim. Oh, Jay, it's been wild morning. Non-farm payrolls came out this morning. And here, I'll put this back down here. You can see here on the ES chart and the NQ chart how wild it's been. Farm payrolls came out in this doji candle here. Then it had a huge 75-point move upwards, downwards, back upwards, down, big down, and now these candles are huge too. I mean, 22, 19, back up by 43. It's wild. I don't see how anyone's playing these. Maybe order flow, but chart playing is just it's just been wild. I haven't entered anything on any of the indices. I did have a gold trade earlier. I got $40 out of it. It should have been more, but I moved my trailing stop back to give it more room to breathe. I've been trying to play natural gas on the sim, but it's just been very choppy too, and it's stopped me out 4 straight times. We're on number 5 now. I trying to make up for last night's losses. Jay, I don't think you were here when I explained that I had a bad series of trades on copper last night. That put me in about a $500 hole. So I've been fighting back on that. Yeah, since there's nothing really going on right now, I'll show you what I did or what happened. Copper, copper's not known for wild moves, big wild moves. But, it did last night, unfortunately. Let's move this off screen for now because it's not doing anything. This is where I was. I entered the trade here on the sell, and I was already late getting in, so I should have never gotten in. But it went like in my favor for like 8 ticks, and then pulled back. I was kind of milling about. Then I started going negative here, and it sent a buy signal. And I was really near break even, so I don't always necessarily get out of a trade if I'm right around break even if it sends an opposite signal. And then I was just cruising along here, and then all of a sudden, within 1 minute, this is a 5 minute candle, but this almost entire move happened in the first minute. So stop me out of that trade. That was fine. I didn't expect this, 50 tick whoosh up within a minute. And then, it continued onto the next 5 minute candle. So I'm thinking that we're way above the Bollinger Bands. So I tried a reversal trade. Now, I probably should have did it without a stop loss because I figured it was going to reverse, but I kept the stop loss on, and I got stopped out for a 15 tick loss in 4 seconds. So that was another $187. Then I tried one more reversal trade on this candle, and I kind of panicked as it went the other way, and didn't want to keep going into the hole. So I closed that out for a $75 loss. So I ended up with 3 straight losses with a period of 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so, and I was down about 500. I did score a trade coming as it was coming down here to get some of it back for, I think it was 175. So I got some of it back there, and then I just got some back on that little gold trade. But it's still sitting down. Wrong thing. Sitting down $285 on the day. Sitting $2,000 down on Sim on all those natural gas trades I've been trying to take. But that's okay. That's just a Sim. That's why we Sim. And so I've been staying out of this wild mess here. You know, copper doesn't usually do that. It does happen every now and then. And I just didn't see it coming because it also, usually when something like that happens, it's right as the hour hit. The top of the hour hits, and that actually hit 1 minute before the top of the hour. Hey, hey, Gabe, how you doing? For copper, um, it's December contract. Sorry about that, flashy. Yeah, copper's on the December contract. Glad to hear it, Gabe. Glad to hear it. So at uh, right now, our natural gas trade is right at break even. Apologize for the air noise. Again, I decided to go in my go near my fan. That's what I was trying to say. So, I'm not sure we're going to see anything else exciting, or I mean, this has been exciting, but nothing I want to trade. So we'll look to see whether or not we get anything here in the next few minutes. Gold is definitely trended downward from here, and this would have been a winning trade, but I missed it. Platinum's definitely on a downward momentum now after that long upside. That's an amazing trending. I never even broke the SMA. I mean, he had a little wick down here on the SMA, but it never really broke it. And I mean, that's just a long trend. I mean, let's see. From 12:30 my time last night and hit its high here at 8:30, so 8 hours going one direction basically. This is the biggest pullback right here, but it only pulled back to the SMA and just continued going. So we have we're 9 ticks in the profit on this gas trade. Seems to be struggling to get here. We can actually use a drawing tool here. Line, line, line. We'll try that. I'm not sure if that's gonna take it all the way across. But here is, oh, there we go. It's kind of struggling to get past this point, which was as it was coming down, boom, this was a very choppy come down. 2.2 down, back up, 2 down, back up, 2 down, 3 down, back up. But here is the last major pullback before it continued down, and it's struggling to get above this. Right now we're 14 ticks in the profit. Excuse me. And when you see a constant struggle to get above a certain area, if you're in a profitable trade, that's the one point you might want to consider, pulling the trade early. I mean, because it does have a 50. You have a chance. Will it finally break that resistance? Maybe. Will ours are going to bounce off and eventually head lower? So there's no shame in this is like I said, this is a sim trade, so I'm not real worried about taking profits. There'll be no shame taking profit somewhere here for 10 ticks or 20 ticks or whatever, and then deciding to get back into a trade after it broke this resistance. Remember, getting out of a trade for a profit and then getting back in if it breaks a certain area. Only thing it's costing you is like $4 extras in commission per contract, but that's it. And it's better than taking it, hoping that it's going to break after 3 or 4 attempts and never breaking, and you end up pulling back and losing several ticks. So let's do that. I mean, at this point, it's come up to this level twice, and it's tried 2 other times. So let's rest the sell order if we get it. Uh, Come on, I'll move it down. So we'll sell market if touched. Let's move it down to where we want it. There. 2 ticks or so below that resistance line. If it gets back up there, we'll sell. We might have already missed our opportunity. It might have tried once and tried twice, and now this might be the pushback. But we'll see. Now the other thing is when you're setting an earlier stop loss, it means your risk to reward's messed up. So it's up to you if you want. This would be a 17 tick winner. So you might want to. Right now I'm running a 40 tick stop, so you might want to move that up so you're closer to 1-to-1. But you still want to give the trader a little room to breathe. So that's one of the reasons I don't like to move profit targets. So right now this will be a 20 tick stop here, which is still not 1-to-1. But it gives it a little room to go and see if it can get back up to that resistance level or a couple ticks shy of it. Make it small again to see what signals we might be missing. Nothing. No alerts since I blew that up. Yeah, I mean it's more managing your trade. I I guess the point is if you got to be careful if you're constantly you're planning for a 1.5 to 1 normally, and if you're constantly cutting them short, then you got to be careful of that, because if you're cutting your winners short, but you're letting your losers go to complete stops, then you might our risk to reward ratio gets screwed up, and then you might find your profits really taking a hit. That was one of my problems when I was first starting out. Is I'll be so happy. Oh, I'm 5 ticks in the profit. Let's cut it here. I'll take that. It's $50. Get a couple $50 winners, and I'm really going well. But yeah, and then I'll let my losers run. Like, oh, you know what? I don't want to take this loss, so it's gonna reverse. It's gonna reverse, and then it'll get so far deep that I was, wiping out 3 or 4 winners with one loser. Oh, really? I did not know that, Jay. So this is hanging right around our entry price. More indecision. See that gold and platinum's continuing to head down, so it looks like they finally found their tops and are going to pull back for breaths. Copper's kind of going sideways. The indices are going sideways with big wicks, small bodies. Same thing with the, well, not so much the Russell. The Russell's still big bodies, but also pulling back. Big pullback on soybean oil. Corn's doing its NQ impression. Bonds may have found the low, or may just be pulling back to the SMA line. This down here. Move this as a resistance point. So I said the bonds have not been this low since June. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they can continue to push lower or where the bottom is. So you can see that, you know, this natural gas trade, I got in on this buy signal with at 902, which is basically this candle here, and it's just hugged this SMA line on the 5-minute its entire time. It's pushing down now, heading near our stop, but it's hugging it, but it can't break through. But you can see the SMA line is still, I mean, it's hard to see behind the candles. But you can see that, you know, it is still, the SMA itself is still trending downward. So we're really against the short-term trend on this trade on the 5-minute by going long. It's just sideways. Yeah, hi. Phone rings a lot. So, you know, once again, you look at the overnight action. Where since this is doing nothing right now, we'll take this down. You know, the overnight action is so much smoother, and I mean, yeah, these little moves up and moves down. It goes mostly in one direction. I'm really thinking overnights is much easier to play. You know, you have these sustained moves. I mean, not always, but you don't get this. So you know, once I really believe, you know, once I'm funded and I can actually not have to worry about the other stuff I do for money during the day, I think I'm gonna trade more overnights. I mean, even the bonds. Look at the bonds. I mean, bond, big nice move up there, nice move down here. You know, nice move down here. This would have been kind of iffy, but I mean, this big nice move here early this morning. natural gas. Natural gas has been kind of choppy all day. All trading day. But you had this, nice move there. And you had this big. This was a $700 candle down here. No, 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 Gabe, not at all. I'm not. I couldn't sleep if I left the trade open. I mean, I'm going to probably change my trading hours to where I'm trading from evening my time up until an hour, like maybe an hour or two past the open, and sleep during the day, which is more my time anyway. I've always been a night person, so that's more my time anyway. So as long as I don't need if I'm making money from this and I don't need to make money from the stuff I do during the day, then that works for me. Exactly. Because I mean, just look at this platinum. This platinum's a great example. I could have followed that trade all night, and that went about $3,000. Gold, I mean, in not as dramatic fashion, but I mean, here it was at 57. Before it boomed, it was already up to 65. So that's $800 right here. Before the big boom that happened at when the payroll report came out. So and since then, I mean, we've had good moves. It has done good moves, but still, I mean, it's nice to be able to follow something in one direction for a while. Especially once I can go to more than one contract, I can let one go to profit target, and then we'll just let one meander up with it. Back to our gas trade, which is still doing nothing. Well, it's still we're seeing a trend downward now, but it's still only 11 ticks into the loss. Definitely glad I'm sim trading gas and not just jumped right in on the gauntlet. Order canceled. Why did the order cancel? What? That was weird. Huh. That was weird. It see did it. Oh, okay, so let me see something here. Okay, that was weird that it said order canceled instead of whatever, but that was the stop loss. That was weird though. It scared me for a minute. Why would it cancel my order? Okay, so we're out of the gas trade. Let's go back into where we were, see if there's anything else. If not, I'll be wrapping up here shortly. Sideways, just completely sideways now. So oh, I know why it said order canceled. Hit my stop loss, so it canceled that order I had up there to exit out. Aye, that's right. Okay, good. That makes sense. Sorry, just kind of going through things in my head. I apologize. So it looks like I'm not going to be able to make back my losses from last night. Not unless something obvious pops later in the morning. But then I'm not paying as close of attention. As of now, sitting down $285 for today on the Gauntlet account, which is the one that matters. But I fought back and because I was down much more than that. So at least for that. Excuse me. Just a chop fest everywhere today. Although bonds are still making new lows. Could have got in on that signal there. Oh, now gas is trying to go back up. This is the move we were looking for earlier, although it's still not past that resistance line that we drew. Draw it out further. Some sort of drama to watch to see whether I can get above that. Probably going to wrap up here about a quarter of the hour. Unless something happens that's exciting and fun. Next stream will probably be Sunday evening, 7:45 Eastern time. I didn't set the schedule for next week, but probably be the same as what it was this week. Sunday evening, Tuesday morning, Wednesday evening, Friday morning. Excuse me, sorry, didn't mean to yawn in your ears. Gold's broken its EMA line. What's Copper is also showing a downtrend now. It's broken its SMA line, and it's below the SMA line on the 2 minute as well. So that may be something to watch in kind of the next couple of minutes. Gold is actually now below the level it was before the non-farm payroll explosion. Actually, I mean, it's going down pretty good here. It's not at the low of the day yet, but let me see. Low of the day occurred last night at 1753.6. And we're at, well, this wick down to 55.5. So within 2 points, but pulling back a little bit now. But these are big, strong candles down 4.5 points, 4.8 points, 2 points, and then another 4.3 points. That is, that is one heck of a bend. Uh, uh, See, the way this bend almost at a 90-degree angle, that's very unusual. Usually you see these things be more of a nice curve. This is almost a 90-degree bend. And let's see what platinum. See, platinum's is more than that. You can see it's curving, starting to head down after this long thing up. You can see it curving and down. It's just a nice bend, not that 90-degree. Oop, I took a wrong turn. Down. That's what you normally see. Gold is definitely downtrending quickly, and more quicker than platinum, which actually had the more rain upwards. We did get a sell signal here on copper on the 2 minute. Kind of waiting on it to see if it happens on the 5 minute. We have bands moving upwards. I think we're going to soon see a sell here. We got to look. So we're going to look to see. Let's start scoping this out. First of all, there's no obvious resistance points as it moved up. I mean, this wick down maybe, or maybe this, but you can't really, this was on the open, so I'm not sure that really counts either. So there's no real obvious resistance points. Almost every candle has a wick down and wick up as it was going up. So nothing obvious there. I apologize for the background noise. Unfortunately, I don't have a private office to do this in. I got to deal with noise in the background. So anyway, no obvious resistance there. We're probably still haven't gotten enough. Here's I actually wanted to. Yeah, do have the Bollinger Bands. This band here is at 27.36, and our price action's at 27.55. So we're really near an upcoming Bollinger Band. So we got to see whether or not that starts to flatten out because it doesn't have much room to go. So this would indicate this is going to be a pullback and maybe start ranging. It's probably would need to give. My guess would be bouncing here, kind of like it's already doing, and then going back up. And maybe as the SMA line here starts flattening out, maybe bounce off of there and maybe start moving back downward. We have not gotten that sell signal yet on this 5 minutes. I'm not. I mark it off based on the the 5 minute chart, but we're just gonna. I'm curious to mark it off here on the 2 minute. See whether or not this would have been a good entry. I almost always use market orders. I occasionally use limits if I have a specific price target that I want to enter at. After like maybe 2 ticks above a resistance point, where if it breaks it, I think that's where it's going to go. But I almost always use market orders, just because every time I was trying to use limit orders, I would limit in, and then the trade would go without me, without me getting filled. I lost a bunch of good trades that way. And so I started to go to market orders. And I do look at the spread, like you know, you see a spread on. Okay, it's not bad, but I was looking at the spreads earlier on natural gas, and there was like 4 or 5 ticks between the bid and the ask, and there I would probably use a limit order if I was on the Gauntlet account to try and get the maybe a better fill there because of the spread. Because if if your spread's high, then and you mark it in, you're basically putting yourself 2 or 3 ticks behind right from the start. But I didn't like constantly missing trades that went without me, so I started using the market orders. Speaking of gas, nothing great. Bonds bounced off. Gold's trying to move back up. Platinum's down. Looks like copper is doing exactly what I said. It bounced off that second band, which plays more of a factor if you have a downward move and the band's moving upwards to meet it. And now, yeah, my guess is it's going to probably, kind of meander here for a candlestick or two, and then may continue its move downward. You can see it is still going downward. If we had entered off the sell signal in the 2 minute, we will be 6 ticks in the profit. And by we, I mean me. So we'll kind of watch this. We'll give this stream till 11 o'clock Eastern. Then I need to cut it, get some work done. Oh. Let's see what the ES and the NQ is doing. I mean, this is it's a weird looking pullback. I mean, it's like it didn't want to pull back, but it kept being pushed. That's a little bit more normal, but still, this is weird looking price action. So Kappa, just kind of settling out. 2 minutes on this 5 minute candle yet. If we had not waited for a sell up here, but it had gotten in on this sell in the 2 minute, this trade's looking really good. It's up 10 ticks. See where it goes. I have really been considering, it seems like, and I got to study this weekend. Seems like after a long uptrend, this is a long uptrend. The first sell, opposite signal. Okay, I shouldn't say uptrend or downtrend. Long trend. The first opposite signal you get on the 2-minute chart seems to be good most of the time. So then I might not need to wait for the confirmation on the 5-minute chart after the long uptrend. But I'll have to bear that out and see if that's true. Let's see if we can look back here. I mean, this is the first sell of this after this long uptrend. Let's see if we have any others. That's not really that long of a downtrend. If a seller came in here, that would be good. Let's see. Oops. Okay, let's go back now. We just got our sell on the 5-minute on this. It went away. Now we would be 11 to 12 ticks in the profit on based on that. Now tell me, folks, if there's anyone still tuning in. Okay, it's fire to sell, but it went away. Anyone know why it would not, if even if that sell signal would have still been here, why I would not have gotten into that trade? This is your test. No. EMA is down here, this blue line. It hit the bottom of it's resting right against a Bollinger Band, and the Bollinger Band is going sideways. So that would tell me that, I mean, even though it's the two bands just come up. It's been uptrending, and this came right down the median, which means that it probably needs to pull back a little bit to give it some room to breathe before it can continue its downward move. Now we do have the sell here on the next candle. It's going in and out. It's still a risk, in my opinion, to get in on this trade right here, because again, you still have this. We want to see whether or not bends this band. We have 3.5 minutes to see what this candle does. Oh, right. Why I would not have gotten in on this candle. We originally saw the sell signal on this candle. Why wouldn't I have gotten in here on this candle? Blow it up real good for you. And just because the answer is, you know, I mean, if you blow it up real hard like I just did, you can see it's slightly trending downward. For the most part, though, it's going parallel. So, and it's right up against the Bollinger Band. So you want to give it a little room to start bending this band down, because there's a better chance that it's going to bounce, because you just came off this big uptrend, and honestly, the better signal, or if you're managing this trade without the bot, this would have been your entry candle, or not really. I mean, this would have actually been the entry candle, and then you would have got this big 13 point. Even though this ended up being a doji, you wouldn't know that. If you were, this is what you're looking at right here. See this edge? This is your candle. It broke the SMA solidly. It's solidly below. So you'll enter there. Your entry point would be at 42805, and as this now hit a low of 42710. So wait, this was 4205. So this would have went 19 ticks, and you see it has now bounced just like I predicted. But I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have gave people time to answer. You're right. I'll get better at that too. I wasn't sure how many people were actually still here, so I wasn't sure. So this, if you had gotten into this candle based on the break of the SMA after this long uptrend, this doji would have kind of scared you a little bit, because it did pull back by 8 ticks. but then you would have got this nice big candle, and you could have got. I mean, I do a 20 tick profit goal. I would have been one tick away from it right now, but I would still be in this trade because it hasn't pulled back to the entry point, and that would have been room for this to go. Thank you. Thank you for forgiving me. So still watching this on copper. As you can see, this is actually interesting. Let's see. If I would have got in on this 2-minute sell signal on the candle, 44.2805, and it got down to a low of 10. So actually, this candle that I said get in and would have been exactly this here as well. So that's interesting. So I've been the same exact entry point, and we would have gotten to 95% of the profit goal. As it is right now, it's almost 50% of the profit goal, and the 5 minute still does not fire a definite sell. So just give a quick check on whatever everything else is doing. Sideways action now for gold for the past 20 minutes. Platinum still pulling back. Bonds kind of sideways. Gas sideways. Crude breaking its SMA line. Again, this is it here, and this is maybe another example. Let's look at this real quick. This is the first signal after a long uptrend. Now, it was kind of choppy toward the end of this uptrend. It's the first signal. It's the wrong one. I did long, I went short. So, short there. Stop of 20. Profit target 30. Might be too big of a profit target at this point. Although I think it's normally after 10 o'clock or my time at 11 o'clock Eastern, I go to back to a 16:12. It looks like 12 would have stopped us out. But before 10 o'clock my time, I do a 30-20. So we'll see how this plays out. Right now, this trade would be break even based on this sell signal. Copper still just playing around, and it kind of came down, almost hit that third Bollinger Band. Then that's where it kind of bounced. It's still well below its SMA. So this has the feeling of a sideways action for a while. Maybe kind of bouncing between the bottom band and the SMA. Plus, it's heading up toward the SMA on the 2 minute. So this could be one of where it starts really ranging. So if nothing else good in the next few minutes, we'll cut it. We'll cut the stream. Of all the indexes so far this morning, the Russell would have gave us one decent move here off a signal. But I probably wouldn't have trusted to take it anyway because of how wild everything was. Nothing. Well, I mean, copper's still trying to move. Oh, big, big push there. Top of the hour. That's a quick push up and back down. So let's bounce back up now to the SMA. Big candle up here on this 2 minutes. 13 ticks up in a minute, which will put this trade now back into losing territory. Although since it went 95% of the way, this would have just stopped me out at some, I think, like 6 ticks of in profit. So I think I'm gonna call it a day here. I was hoping for a good signal on copper to maybe try and make back the rest of that loss from last night, but it looks like this is not going to happen. I think my big opportunity was here with gold. I don't even have platinum set up. I need to do that this weekend, and I just didn't. I missed it. I'm not. I don't. I unless something starts trending in the indices, I'm not even going to look at that the rest of the day. This isn't playable, at least not for me. I'll keep watching and see if copper gives me anything. Looks like it might be trying to go back up. So we'll see. Okay, Sunday night, evening, I should say, 7:45 Eastern Time. And I'll see you then. Gas. Well, there's another gas, but I'm not going to jump on that. So, everyone, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Sunday evening. Thanks, Raul. Bye.